Hello children and young people, it is a pleasure to speak to you today. I've just been recording videos for Facebook and I was trying to be all professional and it really stresses me out. I just like to speak to you like this, like I really feel like you're there now. When I did the Facebook ones, I did not have that same sense. Maybe because you weren't there. Here's what I'm going to share with you today. Today I'm going to teach you something called ecology. And ecology is the study of how things impact on the world around you. Now, here's something that I have noticed about the children and young people that I have met throughout my work. Sometimes we get a really good idea about what it is that we might want to do or achieve in our lives. And it's really difficult to know in advance whether or not that thing actually is a good idea or not. And some of you lose confidence at that point and then maybe don't follow through on it at all. And it could have been a cracking idea and you should have done it. In other cases, I've seen people follow through on a really, really bad idea, like a really stupid idea, and then regret it afterwards. So I'm going to teach you a way to evaluate the decisions that you make and the goals that you set to see if it's really a worthwhile thing for you to do or not. So here is the study of ecology. Right, now I have a blank piece of paper and a dining table mat. So ecology works like this. In the very center, there is you with your bright idea about what you want to do. And that bright idea could be mastering algebra. And that brilliant idea could be smoking your first cigarette. That is not a brilliant idea, by the way, but I just want to use it as an example. So first of all, you ask yourself the question, if I do this thing, is it good for me? Mastering algebra, maybe it could be good for you, in which case we would give it a tick. Smoking your first cigarette, is it going to be good for you? No, it's a stupid idea. Don't do it. We'll come back to that. The next circle that we have available is one for others in the world around you. So there we have others. So now we have two things to check in. Is it good for you? And is it good for others? Now, when you are mastering algebra, it could well be good for you, and it probably won't do anything to particularly offend anybody else. So far we've got a double tick on that particular idea. If we take the smoking your first cigarette idea, we've got a for here. And in terms of is it good for others, maybe that depends on the network that you're in at that particular point in time. I mean, if you're suffering with peer pressure and there's other people saying, go on, do it, it's a really good idea, maybe it would be good for them because it would back up the stupid idea that they've had and make them feel better about it, even though ultimately we already knew it was going to make you feel a heck of a lot worse. The next level looks like this. My circle went a bit wobbly. The final circle is the rest of the world, which you could refer to also as the planet or the universe if you really want to get big. So now we have three areas to check in. Let's say you wanted to master algebra. Is it good for you? Yeah, probably would be. Is it good for others? Certainly not going to cause them any other significant harm. And is it good for the rest of the world? Yeah, it's probably okay. So with that particular idea, we have three ticks, which means that your goal is ecological. And therefore, you may proceed. It has a much greater likelihood of being successful on the basis that we got three ticks. Now let's hook back to the stupid idea of smoking your very first cigarette. Is it good for you? Well, we've already established, no, it won't be. Is it good for others? Maybe it will be in the moment for your friends, but later on when you have a family and they have to put up with you smoking and sucking in your secondhand smoke, then no, it's not going to be good for others. Is it good for the rest of the world? Well, it depends on how global we go. We could potentially say the majority of the rest of the world wouldn't care, but overall, if the whole world stopped smoking, we'd all probably live a little bit longer. So overall, with the smoking suggestion, we've got at least two no-goes as we check out the ecology. And what that means is, whilst your goal may be initially successful, eventually there is a high likelihood that it will become sabotaged, that the goal won't work out as well for you as you had hoped, or that at some point it will just stop working completely and you'll just hit a bit of a roadblock with it. So ecology is a really good way for you to begin to evaluate the decisions that you're making to establish whether or not you should proceed in the way that you had planned or if you should proceed at all. Make sure that you always run your decisions through the ecology map so that you can be sure to make good and worthwhile decisions in your future. Thank you for listening, and goodbye for now. Subscribe. I've got to say subscribe. If you didn't subscribe already, do the subscribing thing. Thanks.